Welcome to the MMAPlay 365 free fantasy fight breakdown. For each card, we'll give away our analysis for one featured fight, including how to approach it in your DraftKings and FanDuel contests. You can access our full daily fantasy offering, including picks, cash game rankings, tournament exposures, and historical optimal lineup analysis for just $5 per event or $10 per month by logging on to www.mmaplay365.com. All right, guys, let's break down Juliana Miller taking on Brogan Walker. It is the women's flyweight final of this season of The Ultimate Fighter. By the way, before I get into the breakdown, if you're complaining about Tough and you don't like it, then don't watch it. Don't ruin it for the rest of us. I will never complain about more fights. Are they the highest level fights? No. But am I getting to watch fights? Yes. So it seems silly to me to complain about it. That being said, let's get into Miller against Walker, fighting for the flyweight crown here. Juliana Miller is 2-1 as a pro. Brogan Walker is 7-2. Miller, if you watch the show, has got a grappling heavy game plan. Striking is not pretty. She's going to walk forward and try and get things in the clinch and look for submissions. Brogan Walker, more of a conventional fighter, mixes everything up pretty well, has got good Muay Thai, and does have trained at a BJJ gym, so you know she has that background. In terms of pricing for this fight, Juliana Miller, this is going to be an important fight on DraftKings. Miller is 8,300. Brogan Walker is 7,900. Miller is minus 125 favorite to minus 140, depending where you look. Come back on Brogan Walker anywhere between plus 105, plus 120. Those middling salaries, and I mentioned Juliana Miller's style. She's going to go forward, go. There's not going to be a lot of downtime in this fight. Somebody should be scoring pretty much all 15 minutes or for as long as this fight does last. Maybe they'll be a little hesitant to start UFC debuts, but there should be points scored in this one, which isn't always the case for a women's MMA fight. Brogan Walker, by the way, 33 years old, making her UFC debut. That's always just a small red flag to me that I like to point out. Miller, as I said, is the younger fighter here, but does have a ton of grappling experience. And that's really what this fight is. I think we all know what it is in terms of breaking down. Miller wants to grapple. Can she get the fight to the ground or hold Brogan Walker? Brogan Walker will be better in space. Can she keep Miller off of her? I think the answer is no. Now, people are pointing at Brogan Walker. By the way, Brogan Walker, I don't want to discount her too much. I do think she will get some wins in the UFC. Miller's a really interesting stylistic challenge for anybody. Her two losses, Invicta FC, she is 3-2 in that promotion. She lost to Erin Blanchfield and Pearl Gonzalez. Blanchfield, potential title challenger, in my opinion. Pearl Gonzalez, UFC veteran, not with the company anymore, but it isn't a nobody. And she has a win over current UFC fighter Miranda Maverick. I will say, and I've heard people point to, okay, Maverick likes to wrestle. Brogan Walker beat her, so therefore Walker should win this fight. That was Miranda Maverick's third MMA fight, I believe, and it was 4 years ago. Different fighter, and Miller's pressure is just a little bit different. Maverick wants, I think, more of a traditional wrestler. Miller's just going to rush you. I think she's got better trip takedowns. I think she's physically stronger in terms of the grappling strength. I think she'll be stronger. Brogan Walker maybe could lift more weights, but I like Miller in those grappling positions. Grappling strength is just different. If you've roll with someone who grapples a lot, they're tiny, but it can be incredible what that grappling strength is. Not that Brogan Walker doesn't have any. I think the skill discrepancy on the ground, I think we all can agree, is a lot. And it's, can Miller close the distance? I think she can. I think this turns into, I also think in a sloppy kind of dogfight. I like the dog in Miller from what I've seen of her. I think if this gets dirty, I think she's more likely to come out the other end of it than Brogan Walker. In terms of how we're playing it for DraftKings and FanDuel, if you're on FanDuel, I'll say quickly, both sides of the site are pretty viable because, FanDuel stopped scoring takedowns defended. Pretty much now, so scrap that thought. Juliana Miller is the better play, even if you think Brogan Walker wins. If you think Brogan Walker wins, you probably think she wins a stand-up striking decision. I don't think you think she finishes Miller, but Unless you think she's going to get a quick finish in Miller, I don't know why you would. She's not a good DraftKings play. There's just not enough scoring there. There'll be some. I'm not saying to totally fade her, because, like I said, Miller will press action, and Walker will land plenty of strikes. We saw just last week, we saw Jocelyn Edwards end up in this mid-range salary. 85-ish points was enough for the optimal. Brogan Walker could do that in a win. There'll be enough volume. Juliana Miller, though, is going to want to grapple. We know how they score. She's going to have control time. I think she'll have small strikes against the cage. In a Miller win, I think the scenario is there for her to smash her price tag and end up on the optimal. So there's more upside there for fantasy. I like the way this fight looks for Miller. Bigger, stronger. I think she can get the fight where she wants it. Plenty of grappling upside. Just kind of recapping here, my official pick for this fight, I have Juliana Miller wins by round 2 submission. I think the pressure will be too much for Brogan Walker. I don't mind some Brogan Walker on the comeback in GPPs, DraftKings or FanDuel. I do think overall, I think Julian Miller is a good cash game play, in addition to being a really high upside tournament play. So that is the free fantasy fight breakdown for this week. Juliana Miller, I think, defeats Brogan Walker round 2 submission. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please follow me on Twitter at sniper_MMA. Good luck in those contests. We'll see you next time.